Today I'd like to talk about being a smart shopper when you're buying plants at the nursery. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that virtually all of the shrubs and trees you buy at the nursery are very small compared to what they'll be when they grow up. So you should always learn the mature size of the plants that you're purchasing. Take this cute little loropetalum here. You think this would be a lovely little shrub to put right in front of a flower bed or to use where you want a nice low shrub. But when you look at the label that comes with this plant, you see they get to be 6 by 6 feet tall, and you need to be aware of that. The word dwarf, that can trip you up as well. Let's take a look at an example of that. Here we have an example of a dwarf plant. Now, the confusing thing about the word dwarf is it makes you think the plant's going to be smaller, and indeed it means smaller than the standard size. But this dwarf bottlebrush bush here called Little John, nice shrub for South Louisiana, well, you might think it'd stay nice and compact because it says it's dwarf, but it will get to be 6 feet tall if you check the label. So the lessons today are this. When you go to the nursery for trees or shrubs, have a clear idea in your mind about how large you want those trees or shrubs to be when they're mature. Then try to find shrubs or trees that will grow to be those sizes. Try to avoid shrubs that will grow to be much larger than you want them to be, because that means you'll have to do a lot of pruning to keep them under control. Dwarfs are pretty good, but don't forget they can always be bigger than you might expect them to be. Check the label. That will be your best guide. For Get It Growing, I'm Dan Gill with the LSU Ag Center.